The exams are coming. Your model exam begins by 27th, and we are all in a hurry, but. So I feel to be privileged to be with you. Children who are some 150 or 160 kilometers away from you. I I I, I was told that you belong to Neyatangara Educational District. I think I know only Sunida Sunil ma'am because she was there in another group with me of the a class like this, English Graduate Association who conducts a class called the LAP, and I have seen her in that program also. I think she's the one and only person whom I know, not personally but through the meet. So I'm very privileged and happy to be with you this evening. This is not a one-way traffic. You have to interact with me. Whenever you have a doubt, you can unmute your mics and ask me your doubts. I'll try my best to make things uh, more comprehensible to you, and so that you can understand things like that. Anyway, you have completed the first two units, and we have come to the third unit. Can anyone tell me the name of that unit? What that unit is titled as? Am I all,
Law of values.
the lore of values? Let me ask you one more thing. Do you belong to the same school or you belong to different schools in the district? Ma'am, please. Do they belong to the same school or?
Different schools, sir. Different schools throughout the district.
Okay, okay. Thank you, ma'am. So it's about lore of values. So in that unit, we have got. I'll just 1 second. I'll share my screen. 1 second. 1 second. Let me. Now, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, fine, fine. Now, this is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine, fine. One second. Since it takes much data, let me mute my video. Is it okay? I'll unmute it then and there. Okay, no issues, right? Can you see the screen now? Is it visible to you?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
fine. So the unit 3 is titled as Lore of Values. So there we have three pieces, literary pieces. The first one, the best investment I ever made. It's an anecdote description by the famous writer A.J. Cronin. A.J. Cronin. So best investment I ever made. And the second one is again a prose lesson. That is the danger of a single story. It is a speech by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. He's an African author. And we have got one poem, and that is The Ballad of Father Gilligan by William Butler Yeats. It's a ballad, it's a story poem. Then, the first lesson, that is the best investment I ever made. You have, I hope that your teachers have discussed all these lessons with you in your schools and in your class, and we'll just have a look at the uh, main events of that lesson. The best investment I ever made by A.J. Cronin. The story is written by Mr. A.J. Cronin. He was a famous Scottish writer. Once he was traveling in a ship, And while he was walking along the promenade deck, he found a man was watching him closely and following him with his gaze whenever he passed by. Later, the man came and introduced himself as Mr. John. And then, at first, Cronin could not identify this person, recognize him. So he recalled an incident that happened some 25 years ago. So what that 25 years ago, one night a police officer came to see the doctor. He reported a suicide case, and the person who was who tried to commit suicide was a clerk. He had stolen money for gambling from the office, but he was not successful in that gambling, and he lost all the money. And he was worried about prosecution, the legal proceedings that would initiate against him. So what did he do? What did he do? He tried to commit suicide. But the timely intervention of the police officer and the doctor saved him. So, and these three people, the trios, that is the police officer, the landlady, and AJ Cronin, the doctor, they helped this man to start a fresh life. The landlady, where this man was staying as a paying guest, offered him free lodging for 1 month till he was till he recovered from his till he regained his health. And the police officer, committing suicide is a crime, but risking his job, the police officer did not report that case. So he was relieved from all sorts of legal proceedings or prosecution. And this man, to for a final gambling, he had stolen some money. How much money did he steal from his office day?
7 pounds 10 shillings.
£7 and 10 shillings. And the doctor gave that money to this young man to be put back in his office safe. And thus the young man regained his life. And this incident actually was a turning point in his life, and he was totally changed. And he sacrificed, or he set apart his life for the welfare of the youth. And that's a summary of that story. I hope you all know. Yeah, now we are going to discuss, what are the possible discourses that can arise or that can come for your examination from this particular lesson. Now, this is a very important lesson. So we have to go it in detail, but if time permits, we'll manage it. Otherwise, you should bear with me. Don't be simply listeners. You can ask me. You can stop me with your queries. You can ask me. Of course, I will certainly answer you. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So one possible question is, before that, we have to discuss about the vocabularies, the main vocabulary items in this particular lessons, because you know about the pattern of questions, isn't it? Don't you know
Yes, sir.
the pattern of questions? The first one will be comprehension prose. There you'll be asked 6 questions. Question number 1 to 6. Read the following passage taken or given from a particular lesson, and there you'll be a passage will be given, and there will be 6 questions, and one question among the 6 questions, one question will be a vocabulary item. So it is better to know. Just go through all the important vocabulary terms from this lesson. So the first one is, can anybody read it for me, please?
Sir, may I?
Yeah, of course. Your nice name, please.
Gauri Nanda.
Gauri, you are from which school?
Government Girls High Secondary School, Nayatingara.
Okay, fine. Gauri, proceed.
Promenade, a public place for walking.
Walking, okay, good.
Tedium, boredom.
Boredom, okay.
Importunate, asking for things many times in a way that is annoying.
Yeah, very good.
diffidence,
Yeah,
shyness or lack of confidence.
very good.
Recede, to stop growing of hair at the front of the head.
Yes.
Sober, plain and not bright in color.
Yeah,
Disposition, the
good.
natural qualities of a person's character.
Yeah, good.
Intrigue, to make
Intrigue. Intrigue.
intrigue, to make a person very interested to know about something.
Yeah, good.
Haltingly,
Yeah,
stopping and starting often because
yeah,
you are not certain or not very confident.
very good.
Maladjusted, having mental and emotional problems
Yeah,
that lead to unacceptable behavior.
okay, good, good. So, can somebody else read the next slide? Can anybody else?
Sir,
Yeah, yeah, yes, this one.
banging to hit something noisily.
Yeah, your nice, your name, please.
Neha Arvinod,
Megha, you are from which school?
Government Girls Higher Secondary School, Neyatingara.
Okay, fine, fine, Megha. Carry on.
Muffled to make a sound quieter or less clear.
Yeah, good.
Agitated, anxious, and nervous.
Okay, good.
Resuscitation,
Yes,
emergency procedure to revive someone to consciousness.
yes, good.
Strenuous, needing great effort and energy.
Yeah, good.
Convulsive, sudden, and impossible to control.
Yeah, good.
Recoup, to get back an amount of money that you have spent or lost.
Okay, good.
Prosecution, the process of conducting legal proceedings against someone accused of a crime.
Yeah, good.
Roughly, deep, rough, and unfriendly.
Okay, one more is there. Can you see it now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Speculation,
Yeah, sorry, sorry. Speculation.
poultry, പറഞ്ഞില്ല sir.
Yeah,
Poultry,
paltry.
poultry, too small to be considered as important or useful.
Yes, good.
Speculation, investment in stocks, property, etc., in the hope of making profit.
Okay, good, good. So, these are the important vocabulary items from this lesson. So maybe suppose if for the exam, if a passage comes from this lesson, one of these words would be asked, and there you can score 1 mark. So you got it. So you have to make a note of all these things. You can just underline in your textbook if it is with you now, or else all the bold lettered words that are given in the text. Some words are given in bold letters in your text. When you go through the text, this lesson, you can find it. You just underline it. You can find the vocabulary, the meaning of these words at the end of each unit. The vocabulary is given there. You can find the meaning also from there. So this is one thing where which you have to make a special note of it. Okay, fine, fine. Is it clear to you now?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, fine, fine. Next one is the comprehension passages. So any passage from this lesson can be asked for the exam. So you'll be given for your exam, you'll be the first question. I told you that, question number 1 to 6. So this will be the instruction in your question paper. Questions 1 to 6. There will be a full stop. Read the extract or excerpt or the passage. These three words will be there. Read the extract or excerpt, excerpt, then or passage taken from the story, this and this, so and so, and answer the questions that follow. So this will be the instruction. Normally, when writing an exam, children never reads these instructions. Instructions are very important because they are guidelines to the questions. So what do you have to do? So you have to read. A passage will be given like this, and 6 questions will be here. So this is a model, a sample. There are other passages from the same lesson. In short of time, we do not. I can't uh, get you through all the passages, but one sample passage I have just shown you. Can somebody read it for me? Somebody else? Somebody from the boy side? Hello, somebody, somebody from the boy side. Can you please read it? Okay, anyone can try. It's okay, no problem.
Sir,
Yeah, of course. Tell me your name and then school and continue.
Sir Neha Vinod from GGHS Neyatingara.
Okay, Megha, you may read.
As he regained his strength, he told us his story. His parents were dead. An uncle had found him a position as clerk in a London solicitor's office. He had been in the city only 6 months. Utterly friendless, he had fallen victim to the loose society of the streets, had made bad companions, and like a young fool, eager to taste pleasure far beyond his means, had begun to bet on horses. Soon he had lost all his small savings, had pledged his belongings, and owed the bookmaker a disastrous amount. In an effort to recoup, he had taken a sum of money from the office safe for a final gamble that he was assured was certain to win. But this last resort had failed. Terrified of the prosecution that must follow, sick at heart, sunk in despair, he had shut himself in his room and turned on the gas.
Okay, good, very good, very good. Megha, right?
Yes, sir.
Now the person who read is Megha, right?
Sir Neha.
Oh, Neha, Neha. Okay, Neha, good. Now let me ask the first question. How did John's uncle help him?
John's uncle found him a position in as a clerk in the London solicitor's office.
Office. The first six question. How many marks each question carries in the first part?
1 mark each.
1 mark question, isn't it? So for a 1 mark question, you need just for a 1 mark question, the answer may be at least sometimes a word, sometimes a phrase, or at the most a sentence. Don't write a paragraph for 1 mark question, isn't it? That will do. Sometimes you have just pick a word, that's enough. Even no need of any complete sentence. So here, John's uncle found him a position as a clerk in a London solicitor's office. That's right. Second question: how did he lose all his small savings?
He bet on horses and lost all his small savings.
Yeah, very good. He bet on horses and lost all his small savings. Very good, very good. Third question: why did John try to commit suicide? Why did John try to commit suicide?
He stole an amount from his office and for a final gamble, which he was sure to win, but he lost that also. So, afraid of the prosecution, he was trying to commit suicide.
Yes, yes. So he had stolen some money from his office and terrified of the prosecution, he committed suicide. Okay, good, good, good. Then look at the fifth one. Maybe this type of questions will also be asked. That is some one grammar question. So what is that? If he had won the final gamble, if he had won the final gamble, I'll get you a clue. I'll give you a clue. His aim was to recoup the lost money, isn't it? Did you get me?
Yes, sir.
Why he stole the money? Not for spending else. He had lost all his small savings, and for a final gamble, he took some money from his office safe, and the purpose behind it was to recoup all the money he had lost. So, what would be here? That is my question. If he had won the final gamble, actually, we know that he didn't win, right? ശരിയല്ലേ?
Yes, sir.
A final gambling അയാൾ ജയിച്ചോ?
No.
No, but here we are just imagining if this would had happened, what would have been the result? That's my question. You could just imagine a situation like this. Actually, it didn't happen. So, what would be the structure of the second part of the sentence? If he had won the final gamble,
He would have recouped the money.
very good, very good. He would have recouped the money. So, let me change the structure of the sentence. Could you answer?
Yes, sir.
If he win the final gamble,
He will recoup the money.
very good. If he won the final gamble,
He would recoup the
he
money.
would recoup the money. So the third one, if he had won the final gamble, he would have recouped the money. See, if, unless I haven't given you the clue, what would be your answer? Because that recoup, I think this is the best or the appropriate sentence part which could be added to it. No, this is an if clause, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You have some idea about if clause, right? Do I need to
Yes, sir.
explain it? Do I need to explain it? No. Hello, friends. Please respond. Once again, I'll say if he win the final gamble, what will be the sentence? Rest of the sentence.
He will recoup the money.
If plus V1, then
Will plus V1.
yeah, will plus V1. If he won, that is
He
if
would
plus V2. Then what would be in
would
that main
plus
clause?
V1.
Would plus V1. Yes, he would. Then if plus had plus V3,
Would have plus V3.
would plus have plus V3. That's a structure, and that this is called the third type of condition. It's an impossible condition, and this is that pattern is called um, conditional past. Yeah, I think so. It's like that. Yeah, if he had won the gamble, I'll tell one more example. If you invite him, suppose your somebody is going to get married, Rohit is going to get married. He has a friend, but they are now not friends. There is some misunderstanding between the two. So another friend tells him, Rohit, if you invite him,
He will come.
he will come. If you invited him,
He would come.
if you had invited him,
He would have come.
he would have come. So that is the structure. Okay, you got it. Very good, very good, very good. Maybe a question like this would be asked from the passage. Then look at the last question. What was the last resort mentioned in the passage? Could you pick out the answer directly from the passage? Say yes or no. What was the
Sir,
last? Yes, yes, yes.
sir, does resort means last attempt?
Attempt, yeah. Attempt, yeah. അവന്റെ അവസാന ആശ്രയം എന്തായിരുന്നു? What did he do?
In an effort to recoup, he had taken a sum of money from the office, say for a final gamble that he was assured was certain to win.
That was you just copied the passage given over there. No, it's okay. Your answer is right. No, I'm not finding fault with that. Okay. See, there will be. I just want to mention you. There will be one question among the six where you have to find the answer by reading between the lines. Did you get me? Hello.
Yes, sir.
മനസ്സിലായില്ലേ മക്കളെ? ഒരു ഉത്തരം, ഒരു ചോദ്യത്തിന്റെ ഉത്തരം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ നമുക്ക് ആ പാസേജിൽ നിന്ന് യു കുഡിന്റ് പിക്ക് ഔട്ട് ഡയറക്ട്ലി. സോ യു ഹാവ് ടു റീഡ് ബിറ്റ്വീൻ ദ ലൈൻസ്. വരികൾക്കിടയിലൂടെ വായിച്ച് വേണം കണ്ടെത്താനായിട്ട്. അങ്ങനെ ഒരു ചോദ്യം ഉണ്ടാവും. That means there will be one difficult level question. Okay, good. Yeah, that was the answer. The last resort was recouping the money. His effort to recoup the money is the last resort. Or engaging in an gambling, or he decided to gamble as an effort to recoup all his lost money. This is um, the last resort. I think we missed the fourth question. Uh, I'll read it out. Pick out a word from the passage that means get back an amount of money that is spent or lost.
Recoup.
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 Recoup. So I told you that there will be one question from vocabulary. Most probably it will be there. So there are a few more other passages from this lesson which can be asked for comprehension passages. So you have to be, the one and only thing is you have to be very thorough with the text, the story. If you know the story, you can easily answer. Once more, I remind you that this is a 1 mark question. Don't ever write a paragraph for a 1 mark question. A 1 mark question needs just sometimes the answer will be a phrase, maybe a word. Here, the fourth question, one word is enough. Recoup. Or do you need to write the meaning of the word? That means get back an amount of money that is spent is recoup. Do you need to write that much sentence for that?
No.
No need. Just a word is enough, and that will get you, or that will score you 1 mark. So the answers to a 1 mark question is either a word, maybe a phrase, or at the most a sentence. That's enough. Because if you spend so much time here, you won't be able to complete the other questions, especially the descriptive answers, the discourses and all. Is it clear to you now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Have any doubts regarding this first part of the question?
No, sir.
No, friends?
No, sir.
Good. Shall we continue?
Okay, sir.
Fine,
Yes,
fine.
sir.
So the next one, maybe a short profile. Prepare a short profile of AJ Cronin using the hints given below. You will be given with some minimal hints. This is a discourse. Sometimes it may have 6 scores or 5. Anyway, 6 or 5 scores you will get for writing a profile. This is an easy discourse. You can easily write it down, isn't it? Take almost 5 to 7 minutes for finishing a profile, because your examination is 2.5 hours, and you'll be getting 15 minutes as school of time, isn't it? സമാശ്വാസ സമയം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ ആദ്യം ഒരു 15 മിനിറ്റ് കിട്ടുന്നുണ്ട്. ആ സമയത്ത് you should plan your uh, uh, you know how you are going to answer. You have to plan your answers. Okay, good, fine, fine. So what you know what a profile is? What a profile is? Hello, hello, friends. What a profile is?
Major details of a person.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, good. Profile is nothing but a short description of a person. That's what a profile is. What is a profile? A short description of a.
Sir.
Okay,
Person.
good, good. So in your English course book, volume 1 and 2, you have 15 lessons, and you have come across with 15 authors, right?
Yes.
The first one, who is the first author? Unit 1,
Ruskin Bond.
Ruskin
Ruskin
Bond.
Bone, then Vaikom Muhammad Bashir, then William Wordsworth. Unit 2, Satyajit Ray, Majid Majidi, Bob Dylan. Third unit, AJ Cronin, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, William Butler Yeats. Fourth unit, Martha Salinas, then Cedric Mound, then Pablo Neruda. Last unit, Last unit. And then,
Rabindranath Tagore.
yeah, and then Chekhov, Rabindranath Tagore, and one more poet is there. Langston Hughes, right? Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. Mother to son, right? Am I right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yeah, okay, fine, fine. So, any of these writers may be asked in this part of the question profile. So, you'll be given, yeah. So, how will you tackle or how will you do this answer? Suppose this is what would you write first?
The
Ashton
heading.
The
Chronic.
heading or the title. Title. Okay, good, good. So, what will be the title here?
The name of the person, AJ
Name of
Cronin.
A.J. Cronin or Archibald Joseph Cronin, and if their lifespan or ജീവിത കാലഘട്ടം തന്നിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ that can be written in bracket. For example, Archibald Joseph Cronin, within bracket you can write 1896 birth year and death year 1981 and close the bracket. That's a title. Okay, next. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Archibald Joseph Clooney was
Ah,
a Scottish physician and novelist.
yeah.
Born on 19 July
Was
1880.
born on. Don't miss that was, because there
Okay.
must be a verb in a sentence. Normally, that is what children do. You always miss some verbs. Yeah, was. Archibald Joseph Cronin, the Scottish author, was born. Yeah.
Was born on 19 July
Ah,
1896 in Scotland.
very good. Will somebody else say the second sentence? The second.
His parents were
Ah, ah.
Patrick Cronin and Jesse Cronin.
Okay, good. Third sentence. Somebody else. Or else you can attempt. No,
He is
no issue.
famous as Scottish physician
Ah,
and novelist.
he was famous or he is famous as a Scottish physician and a novelist. So, besides a novelist, he was also a physician, right? Besides a novelist, he was also a physician. Yes. Occupation, novelist, physician, we have written it. We have already developed it. Okay. Then,
His first novel was Hatter's Castle.
his first novel was Hatter's Castle. Then,
Famous works were The Cathedral, The
uh,
Stars Look Down, The Keys of the Kingdom.
can you begin with the famous works? The citadel, the stars. Can you begin that sentence with that phrase? I think you didn't get me.
His famous
You,
works were
no, no, no. That is the sentence you said already. No, his famous works are the citadel, the stars look down, the keys of the kingdom. My question is, can you begin the sentence with the citadel, the stars look down, the keys of the kingdom, like that?
the Cathedral, The
Uh,
Stars Look Down, The Keys of the Kingdom were the famous works of the
uh,
Archibald Joseph Chronic.
yes, very good, very good. So the citadel, the stars look down, the keys of the kingdom are Cronin's famous, notable, or important. These three words usually ask famous, notable, or important words. Then, last sentence. Can somebody prompt?
He was died on 6th January 1981 in Montreux in
Yes.
Switzerland.
Do you agree with that sentence? What he said? Do you
Passed
agree?
away on 6th January 1981, Montreux, Switzerland.
Passed away. The. Can you please repeat the first sentence? I don't know who said it. Could you please repeat that? He.
He was died on 6th January 1981 in Montreux in
Okay,
Switzerland.
good. My question is whether that structure is right or wrong.
Was died on. He died on.
Yeah, that's enough. Because we are just mentioning about a past event, isn't it? And the time also is mentioned over there. So you just say past tense. He died or passed away. He died or passed away. That two phrases is enough. Don't use was before that. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. So he died on. No, before the date, always use the preposition on. January. Ah, before year, we usually use in 1981. If it is a small place, an unimportant place, then we use at Montreal in Switzerland. If it is a big city, metropolitan city, or a famous place, then we use in. That is how we make that sentence. Okay, we'll just go through the profile which I have made it. Okay, can somebody else somebody read it out?
Yes, sir.
Okay, read your name, please.
Akshaya.
Akshaya, you read. Your school also, Akshaya?
St. George is a Sundan God.
Okay, fine, fine. Very good. Read.
Arshiba Joseph Browning, 1896 to 1981. Arshiba Joseph Browning, the famous Scottish novelist, was born on 19 July 1896 in Scotland. Mr. Patrick Crowning was his father and Jessie Crowning his mother. Besides a novelist, he was a physician. His first novel was Hatter's Castle, and his other famous works are The Citadel, The Star Looked Down,
The
and Keys of
citadel,
the
castle and citadel. Citadel.
Citadel, The Star Looked Down, and Keys of the Kingdom. A.J. Crowning passed away on 6 January 1981 at Montreux in Switzerland.
Is it clear? Very clear, no? All the hints we have developed in a very beautiful way, isn't it? Right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Is it clear to you? So you can do any profile which would be asked from your lesson. This is the basic things. Then one more thing, in some questions there will be one phrase like spouse. Have you noticed it?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Among the hints there will be one phrase spouse, and against that one name will be given there. What do you mean by spouse?
ജീവിത പങ്കാളി.
Yeah, that's the meaning of Jivida Bangali, life's partner, right? So, if it is about a male author, then you can say, how will you develop that hint into a sentence?
His wife was.
If it is a male author, then his wife was so and so person. If it is a female person like Martha Salinas or
His
Chimimanda,
Her husband
her
was.
husband. So spouse meaning it can be either husband or a lady life partner or a male life partner. So depending on the author, you have to write it. So there will be one. Sometimes there will be one clue like this, one hint like this. Spouse. One more hint will be added to it. So is it clear to you how you are confident enough to write profiles or deal with profiles?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Done.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So shall we move on?
Yes,
Hello.
sir. Sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Respond. At the beginning I told you right. It should not be a one-way thing. When I say you have to respond with me, then only what learning takes place. Otherwise, I go on lecturing and lecturing, and you simply sit and listen. It's of no use, I think, both for you and me. Okay, good, fine. You are responding. You are very nice, children. We'll move on. Then, another possible discourse from this lesson is complete the conversation suitably. Complete the conversation suitably. Can anyone read it out, please, for me? See, I'm not that good at remembering names. That's why I don't remember any names that you have. One Neha, I remember. Neha, or somebody like that. So please, you initiate yourself. You just,
Sir.
yeah, your name, please.
Neha.
Neha, you read. There will be
Complete
a
the conversation.
Neha, one sec. May I interrupt Neha 1 minute? There will be a question like this towards the last part. That is from question number 32 to 36. You will be having a question like this, a conversation. Two types of question. Conversation questions will be asked in two different ways. One is you will be given a context from any of the lessons, and from the context you have to create or you have to write a full conversation having at least 5 or 6 exchanges, right? Hello,
Yes, sir.
Yes,
is
sir.
it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, that will be somewhere in the discourse part. That may be a question from question number 23 to 26 or 27. One conversation will be there. One question for conversation. There, they won't give you this frame. They'll just give you a context. Suppose I'll tell one example. The next day, Ali meets a junk collector. Prepare a likely conversation between Ali and the junk collector. So that is a situation or that is a context. And from that context, you have to write a conversation having at least 5 to 6 exchanges. And you know what one exchange means? Within bracket of that question, within the bracket of that particular question, there will be like this: five exchanges, at least 5 exchanges. What do you mean by one exchange?
Question tag.
One question and one answer.
Yeah, one question and its response. That makes one exchange. So when 5 exchanges, meaning you have to write pretty 10 sentences, 5 questions and 5 responses. Okay, good, good. The second type of questions that will be asked will be like this. Will be given the frame of a conversation, and some part of it will be missing, and you are supposed to supply the missing part. So how would you answer this for your written examination? Suppose this is the 33rd question. You have to put the question number 33 in the margin. So your answer script given for your public examination will be a margined one. All 4 margins will be there. So outside the margin, you write question number 33. Then all the sub questions A, B, C, D should be put inside the margin. You just put A and write what is needed there. Don't copy the whole conversation because it's not needed. Moreover, if you write the whole conversation, then what would happen? Your time will be wasted. You won't get time to answer all the questions. So within 2.5 hours, you have to write 80 marks question. So if you miss a question, that mark is lost forever. So while writing your examination, you'll be very time conscious and you should learn to manage your time. On the first day, when the children come out, we, teachers used to ask, how was the exam? They said, sir, fine, it was fine, but we didn't get time. So what is wrong with it? They failed to manage the time. Maybe for a 1 mark question, they have written a paragraph. മനസ്സിലായോ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞത്?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ഒന്നാം ദിവസം പരീക്ഷ കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ കുട്ടികളോട് ചോദിക്കും, എങ്ങനെ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു മക്കളെ പരീക്ഷ? സാർ എളുപ്പമായിരുന്നു, പക്ഷെ സമയം കിട്ടിയില്ല. അവർ വളരെ റിഗ്രറ്റോട് കൂടിയാണ് പറയുന്നത്, സാറേ സമയം കിട്ടിയില്ല സാറേ. എന്താ 1 മാർക്കിന്റെ ചോദ്യത്തിന് അറിയാവുന്ന നല്ലവണ്ണം അങ്ങ് എഴുതി വെച്ചു, അര പേജ് എഴുതി വെച്ചു. 2 മാർക്ക് കൊടുക്കാൻ പറ്റുമോ സാറിന്?
No.
No. So the script on which you are writing is your answer script, and an answer script need only answers, no questions. So don't ever repeat any question. So I hope you got an idea about writing the answer to this, right?
Yes, sir.
Kitio,
Yes, sir.
you put the question number 33 outside the margin, and inside the margin you write A, and just write what phrase is there. Okay. Neha, I think you started reading it. Okay, Neha, read. Continue. I'm sorry.
Complete the conversation suitably.
Yeah.
John, you remember me, don't you?
You remember me, don't you? So that's a look at that sentence. You remember me. There is a comma and there is a small blank space and a question mark. So when such a structure when you come across in a conversation, Always remember that there should be the answer, there must be a question tag, right? There must be a
Yes.
question tag. So remember is the verb. There are no other auxiliaries. So we seek the auxiliary do, does, did for making what? For framing the question tag. So here it is. Remember. So do is enough. It's a positive statement. So we add not to it. Do plus not. It becomes no, don't. And the subject is you. So don't you. Right? Exactly. Good, good. Okay. Neha, you continue.
Doctor, no, I do not recollect you.
I do not recollect you.
John,
There is a blank space. Uh, then read the next one. Yes, I was.
yes, I was working as a junior doctor in London.
We do not know what question did John ask the doctor, but the doctor's response was, "Yes, I was working as a junior doctor in London." So what should John ask there if he wanted to get such an answer? That is how you have to think. ഡോക്ടർ ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു മറുപടി പറയണമെങ്കിൽ ജോൺ എന്തായിരിക്കണം ഡോക്ടറോട് ചോദിച്ചിരിക്കേണ്ടത് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ചോദിക്കേണ്ടത്?
Where you working in London?
Where you
Working in London.
spell the word where?
WERE.
Where you working as a junior doctor in
London.
London? Okay, good, good, good. Okay, Neha, you may.
John, if you had not saved me,
See the same thing. Do you remember the first question in the first part we discussed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, continue. If you had not saved me,
I would have died.
I would have.
Died.
I would have died. Okay, okay, okay. Good, good, good. Next.
doctor, you lived in an old house in London. John, do you remember me now?
Ah, doctor. Yes.
Doctor, yes, I remember you.
I remember you. Or if you want to stress that, stress it. You can just add one do also there. Yes, I do remember now. Did you get me?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
ഡോക്ടറിന് ഇപ്പൊ ഞാൻ ഓർക്കുന്നു, നല്ല ഓർമ്മയുണ്ട്. ആ ഒരു സെൻസിൽ പറയണമെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ എന്ത് ചേർക്കാം? ആയി കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് എന്ത് ചേർക്കാം? ഒരു ഡു. കാരണം ഡു ഡസ് ഡിഡ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഇറ്റ്സ് ആൻ ഓക്സിലിയറി. വി യൂസ് ദോസ് auxiliary to for emphasis. Do come for the meeting. That means there is a compulsion. Do take down your notes. That means again there is a compulsion. You are emphasizing what you are saying. So if you want to emphasize such, മനസ്സിലായില്ലേ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞില്ലേ? എനിക്ക് നല്ല ഓർമ്മയുണ്ട്. ഇപ്പൊ ഞാൻ ഓർക്കുന്നു. ആ ഒരു അർത്ഥത്തിലാണ് ഡോക്ടർ റെസ്പോണ്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നതെന്ന് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു എങ്കിൽ you can add I do remember you now. Okay, shall we just go through the answers? It's there. Don't you? Do you remember working as a doctor in London? That also will do. Where you remember working as a doctor in London? My life would have been ruined. My life would have been ruined. That is what I felt too. Anyway, what you said is also right. Right. Yes, I do remember. So this is how you have to write the answer. Just only write the like this. Don't ever copy the answers. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good. So who is that boy? Some boy's name. Boy sound I heard. Could you please tell me your name? Hello. It's okay. Then another task, another thing that can be asked from this lesson will be a notice writing. So we'll just all these things. I am just mentioning it. When you prepare a notice, you know what a notice is. Notice is a written or printed information about an event or a program. So what is a notice?
Written or printed information about the event.
Okay, one second, one second. In the way. So printed or written information about a program or an event. Okay. So first you have to write what?
Notice.
No need of writing notice because question number states that it is notice. No need of writing that phrase. Just leave it. Eh? Forget about that. First, you have to write the right title. So, if it is a school notice, then write the name of the school and the club. Right? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Then, below that, you write the name of the program. These two things should be
Yes, sir.
centrally aligned in your page.
Yes,
It should
sir.
come in the center. Right? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Name of the program. Then comes what? What is the next
Yeah.
thing?
Name of the
Name of the program. Name of the program. If it is a seminar, you write seminar, then put a hyphen and write the topic of the seminar. Then what? The third thing?
Salutation.
Salutation. That depends on the context or question. Dear friends, that is enough and more. Dear friends. Okay. Then what is the next thing in a notice?
this matter.
Notice matter. So that is the main important part of the notice through which or where you convey the idea. So that is very important. To the maximum score of that question, say it is if it is 6 marks, then say 4 marks will be for that notice matter. All the others are just formalities, and for that they'll give just 1 or 2 marks. That 6 mark is that's how it is distributed. Okay, so first what would you say? Say who is organizing and what program. For example, the English club of our school is organizing a seminar. So organizers are the English club of our school. Then program is a seminar based on the topic so and so. And in the notice matter part, you have to write mention the date, the time. Sometimes it can be duration because it's if it is a lengthy program like a film festival or so, then it starts at a particular point of time and then it will end by a particular point of time. So then you have to either give the duration. Is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
If it is a film festival, if we are screening just 3 or 4 films, it takes much time, right? So then you have to say from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So that is duration. Then you have to mention about the venue, where does the event take place. Then mention the chief guest if any. Then write a welcome note. Write the name and position or office of the person issuing the notice. Suppose you are the convener or the secretary, then you have to say convener or secretary, English club. Then write place and date on the left side. Then if program details is needed to be given, just write this much. This is enough and more. Prayer, students, welcome or school choir, welcome speech, headmaster or headmistress, presidential address, PTA president, inauguration, the name of the chief guest. You can add one name, or else this would do. Felicitation, ward member, then vote of thanks, secretary or convener. This much is enough because this is the minimum schedule of a program. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Shall we move on to a question? Imagine that you are the secretary of the film club of your school. The club has decided to conduct a film festival in connection with the unit Project Tiger, Guppy Gaine, Bhaga Baine, Father Panchali, Birds and Adventures of Rin Tin Tin are the films to be screened. The famous director Priyadarshan has condescended to inaugurate the film festival. See, the ABC Film Club, ABC High School Kollam, Colors Film Festival. So, Colors, that is the name of the program. Colors. Dear friends, the English Club of our school has decided to conduct a film festival titled Colors on 25th February 2023 from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. That is the duration in the school auditorium. The following films will be screened: Guppy Gaine Bhaga Baine, Mother Panjali, Birds, and Adventures of Rin Tin Tin, etc. The famous South Indian director Sri Priyadarshan has consented to inaugurate the festival. All are welcome. Do come and enjoy these films. Enjoy the films. Signed, Secretary, English Club, left side, Kollam, 15th February. I actually, sorry. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I forgot to put the year. Okay, you can add it. So this is a model question. It's not related with this particular unit. I just mentioned you. Then program is, as I told you, prayer, students, welcome speech, headmaster, presidential address, PTA president, inauguration, Priyadarshan, director, felicitation, ward members, vote of thanks, secretary, then screening of the films. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It's a simple discourse. Anyone can do it. No issues in this. Okay, good, fine. Now, a question connected with this lesson. That's why I just want to show you a model, but here is a question. Can somebody read it for me?
Sir,
Yeah. Tell me
AJ
your
Cronin, Gauri Nanda.
Gauri Nanda. Okay, Gauri.
AJ Cronin is invited to inaugurate the Home for Derelict Youth, started by Mr. John and his wife. You are asked to prepare a notice to invite the public to attend the function and make it a grand success.
See. So, what is the event? What is the event? Hello?
Inaugurate the home for the
Inauguration of the Home for the Derelict Youth. That is the function, isn't it? Yes. You have to, this was a question that can possibly be asked from this particular unit, particular lesson. Yes. So, you have to invite the public to attend the function and make it a grand. Do you need to write a school name here or club name here?
No.
No need. So, there is only one title. What is that?
inauguration.
Inauguration. You could put a hyphen and write one more thing, one more phrase. What is that?
Home for derelict
Home
youth.
for Derelict
Home
Youth.
for derelict
Home for
youth.
derelict youth.
Okay. What will be the salutation? The next is a salutation, right?
Yes.
Yes. What would you, or which phrase would you choose as the salutation?
Linden.
Pardon? I'm sorry.
Linden.
Why London here? My question is salutation. Salutation is a phrase to address people or an audience. സംബോധന എന്ന് പറയും. അഭിസംബോധന.
Sir, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen. That's well. Ladies and gentlemen. That's enough. Or dear all. Or dear friends. Anything can do. Okay. Good. Next is, what is the next thing? The notice matter, right? Hello? Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Then can please respond. Our time is almost. It's time. I told that it may not end with 1 hour, but I have Miss has granted me 15 more minutes, so you have to just go through the other lessons in a hurry, no? So you have to be very quick. Hello, respond. How will you begin this? ഈ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ നിങ്ങളുടെ സ്കൂളിൽ എപ്പോഴെങ്കിലും റിവിഷനിൽ ചെയ്യിച്ചോ?
No.
No, sir.
Okay. Then. See, you can begin like this. The famous social activist, Mr. John. Can you begin like that? Or else we'll see the answer. See, Home for the Derelict Youth inauguration. Dear friends, or Mr. John and his wife, the famous social activists among teenagers and youth, have started a rehabilitation center, Punaradhivasa Kendram. Rehabilitation center for the derelict youth near the city square. The formal inauguration of the same will be held on 30th March 2023 at the conference hall of the home. Mr. A.J. Cronin, the famous writer and physician, will inaugurate the newly built home. Your esteemed presence is solicited on the occasion. Look at the last phrase. That is also part of the welcome note. Your esteemed presence. മഹനീയ സാന്നിധ്യം എന്ന് മലയാളത്തിൽ ഒരു വാക്കുണ്ട്. അതിന്റെ തത്തുല്യമായ ഒരു ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് ഫ്രേസ് ആണ് എസ്റ്റീംഡ് പ്രസൻസ്. ഈസ് സോളിസിറ്റഡ്, എക്സ്പെക്റ്റഡ് ഓൺ ദി ഒക്കേഷൻ. തദവസരത്തിൽ, അതാണ് ഓൺ ദി ഒക്കേഷൻ. തദവസരത്തിൽ താങ്കളുടെ മഹനീയ സാന്നിധ്യം ക്ഷണിച്ചുകൊള്ളുന്നു, അല്ലെ പ്രതീക്ഷിച്ചുകൊള്ളുന്നു. All are welcome. Signed, Mr. Thompson, Convener, Inauguration Committee, Cape Town, 15th March 2017. Are you a little doubtful about this? Hello? Did I challenge your conviction? നിങ്ങളുടെ ഒരു ധാരണയെ ഞാൻ വെല്ലുവിളിച്ചോ? Hello, friends.
No, sir.
Hello?
No, sir.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll send it to ma'am, this uh, answer, and I think she'll share it with you. Okay, don't worry about that. Maybe this is a possible notice discourse that can be asked, question that can be asked from this lesson. I think once this was asked or so for I think model or some public examination. അല്ല, ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു സാറ് ചിന്തിച്ചു പോയാൽ എന്തോ ചെയ്യും? നമുക്ക് എഴുതാതിരിക്കാൻ പറ്റുമോ? ഹലോ 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 ഹലോ.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Did you lose your charge? I think you are charged this much, till now. But now I think you lose all your charges. ഊർജ്ജം എല്ലാം പോയോ?
No, sir.
Okay, fine.
No, sir.
Good. Very good. This can be another one. Okay, fine. Then write-up. No, write-up is actually again a small description, a critical analysis about നമ്മൾ പറയുന്ന മലയാളത്തിൽ കുറിപ്പ് തയ്യാറാക്കുക. മലയാളത്തിൽ അങ്ങനത്തെ ചോദ്യങ്ങൾ വന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഇന്ന വിഷയത്തിന്മേൽ അല്ല ഇന്ന സന്ദർഭത്തിന്മേൽ ഒരു കുറിപ്പ് തയ്യാറാക്കുക എന്നൊരു ചോദ്യം you have come across in your Malayalam question papers. That is what write-up is. So here is prepare a write-up on the appropriateness of the title, The Best Investment I Ever Made. ഈ ടൈറ്റിലിന്റെ അപ്രോപ്രിയേറ്റ്നെസ്, സാധുതയെ എന്താണെന്നുള്ളതിനെ സംബന്ധിച്ചൊരു റൈറ്റപ്പ് എഴുതുക എന്നുള്ളതാണ്. ഓക്കെ, when you prepare a write-up, give a proper title. Begin with a striking idea. It can be a question or a statement, and from there you can continue writing. Then elaborate the topic. Then add related ideas. Then organize the ideas. Organize the ideas meaning when somebody reads it, they could make out what you have meant. So there should be a coherence or a chronological order of the events. അവിടെ നിങ്ങൾ പറയുന്ന കാര്യങ്ങൾക്ക് ഒരു ക്രമം ഉണ്ടായിരിക്കണം. എന്നാലേ നമുക്കൊരു ആശയം അതിനകത്തുനിന്ന് വായിക്കുന്ന ആൾക്ക് കിട്ടുകയുള്ളൂ. Then use simple and clear language. Then conclude it appropriately. Then you have to write your views. നമ്മളുടെ ഒരു വ്യക്തിപരമായ പരാമർശം അവിടെ ഉണ്ടായിരിക്കണം. ലാംഗ്വേജ് ഫോർമൽ ലാംഗ്വേജ് ആയിരിക്കണം. നമ്മൾ അല്ല കൊളോക്കിയൽ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ലാംഗ്വേജസ് ഒന്നും when you make a write-up you should not write. Then internalization of the theme of the lesson. That means when somebody reads, they should get an idea about the theme of the lesson by reading your write-up. നിങ്ങളുടെ റൈറ്റപ്പ് വായിച്ചിട്ട് അവർക്ക് ആ പാഠത്തിന്റെ ഉള്ളടക്കം എന്താണെന്നുള്ളതിനെ കുറിച്ച് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇതിവൃത്തം എന്താണെന്നുള്ളതിനെ കുറിച്ച് ഒരു ധാരണ ഉണ്ടാവണം. ഈ രീതിയിലാണ് you have to prepare a write-up. This type of a question can be asked. A write-up question will be there, certainly there. That will be a 7-mark question also. Question number 17, 18. Answer any one of the following, and you will be given a context. The question may be prepare a write-up, prepare a narrative, or prepare a speech. These are the possible questions that would be asked in that part. That's a essay type question, and that part of the question carries 7 marks, right? Hello, hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, are you there? Because since I'm sharing my screen, so I don't know how many of you are still there.
Yes, sir. We're all here.
Okay, good, good, good. Yeah, this is how it's. So this is a 7 mark question. You should never skip it. Okay. Did you get me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any doubt regarding what I have shown now? ഞാൻ ഈ കാണിച്ചു തരുന്ന കാര്യത്തെക്കുറിച്ച് സംശയം തോന്നുന്നുണ്ടോ?
No, sir.
Okay, good, good. Very good, very good. We'll continue. See, this is how to attempt a write-up. Appropriateness of the title, the best investment I ever made. That is the title itself. See, how does that this begins? Why did AJ Cronin uses the title "The Best Investment I Ever Made" for his story? It begins with this statement. Oh, a question, isn't it? It is true that we will be confused in the beginning about this title. But when we go through the story, we realize that the title is very appropriate to the theme of the story. Then it goes on. Here, when you write a write up, you needn't explain the, just mention the main events. Don't go into the details. Look at the second paragraph. That is actually a summary of the story. Right? I'll send this slide to your miss. I think she would share it with you. Okay, don't worry about that. Okay, don't worry. So write up can be a possible discourse which could be asked from this particular lesson. ഈ പാഠഭാഗത്തിന് ചോദിക്കാവുന്ന ഒരു ചോദ്യമാണ് റൈറ്റ് അപ്പ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. So be prepared with that. Okay. Is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine. May I continue?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. The young man, can somebody read it for me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Read.
The young man, Mr. John, was really obliged to the trios, the surgeon,
Trios.
trios, the surgeon, the landlady, and the doctor for their timely help and giving him a fresh start. Imagine that he records his thoughts and feelings in his diary. What could be his diary entry?
Trios meaning the three people. Last year you had a story, the trios, in your 9th standard. The last story by Rabindranath Tagore, isn't it? Where you come across money. Orkunnando?
Yes, sir.
Swaminathan.
Yes, sir.
I think it's of Ruskin Bone, right? Not Rabindranath Tagore. Anyway, trios meaning three. Yeah. So diary entry is also a possible discourse that can be asked from this lesson. And you know how to write a diary, isn't it? So this is the diary of Mr. John, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Look at this features of a diary. Diary is actually purely a personal piece of writing. If you write your diary, you are not going to show it to anybody. It's just for you itself. So it is a very highly informal piece of writing. Personal also, yeah. So in the diary, you have to write the day, then you have to write the date also. I'll tell you what the format is. Diary simply means it's not writing your daily routine. I got up in the morning at 5:30. I did this, I did that, then I do this. No, it's not like that. It's not just writing your daily routine. Instead, it is your how an incident or the impact of an incident or an event in your life on that particular day. നമ്മൾ അവിചാരിതമായിട്ടൊരു സംഭവം നമ്മളെ നന്നായിട്ട് സ്പർശിച്ച അല്ലെ നമ്മളെ നന്നായി സ്വാധീനിച്ച ഒരു സംഭവം ഉണ്ടായി, അതിന്റെ ഓർമ്മകൾ നമ്മൾ രേഖപ്പെടുത്തുന്നതാണ് ഡയറി എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. So it's not just writing a daily routine. No, it's not like that. Since it's a personal and informal piece of
Class
writing,
update mali.
pardon, I'm sorry, somebody wants to say something. Hello, may I continue? Yeah. Okay. No need of complete sentences, no need to describe things. Then first person narrative is used in a diary, that I, like that. There must be unity of thought. Then past tense is used for describing events. So these are the features of a diary. I'll just show you one diary here. That the answer to that diary, this is the format. You have to write on the left side. You have to write the day, Thursday. That is from Sunday to Saturday. Then on the right side, you can write 30th or 30 November 2017, and you just give it like this. So this is how you can prepare a diary. Since we it's almost time, that's why we are going to wind it up. But before that, we'll just go through. Then character sketch, that is another important discourse, from discourse for your examination, right? So what are the features of character sketch? First, when you get a question like this, Mr. John in the story, the best investment I ever made, is a victim of loose society of the streets. Prepare a character sketch of Mr. John. So this is the context you will be given, or this is the question you will be given in the question paper. So first of all, you have to identify. Is, do somebody want to say something? I'm sorry.
Usman,
Hello.
do you want to share something, or otherwise you must unmute? Okay.
Okay, fine, fine. So identify which character you want to make the character sketch and introduce the character sketch. Then describe the role and significance of the character in the story. For example, John. What is his role in the story? He's one of the main characters. Or the story develops around him. And what is that character's significance in the story? Then you can say something about his physical appearance if it is given here. In the case of John, it is there in the lesson. You have got the physical appearances of John. His forehead had, the hair on his forehead recede to, something like that. He was a man of age 40, something like that. Then you can say about the personal traits of the character, how he is, what are his personal qualities, what are his merits, personal, his personality merits are, what are they, what are his demerits also. Then what is the character's relationship with other characters in the story, that you have to mention when you prepare a character sketch. Then you conclude the character sketch with a general comment about the character, and that is purely personal, what you feel about the character.
കുഴപ്പമില്ല, നന്നായിരിക്കും.
നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ആ കഥാപാത്രത്തെക്കുറിച്ച് നിങ്ങൾക്ക്
ഇതൊക്കെ ബെസ്റ്റ്
വ്യക്തിപരമായി
സെലക്ഷനാ.
തോന്നുന്ന ഒരു അഭിപ്രായ കുറിപ്പോട് കൂടി വേണം ആ ക്യാരക്ടർ സ്കെച്ച് അവസാനിപ്പിക്കുവാൻ. നമുക്കിത് വേഗത്തിലൊന്ന് കണ്ടുപോവാം. Mr. John is a man in his 40s, short built with a fair complexion and clear blue eyes. He had a brown thin hair that stopped growing at the front of his head. He usually seen in a suit and a sober tie. The rimless spectacles which he wore made him a grave and reserved person. He's a solicitor. Mr. John is found time to act as a director and charitable organization devoted to the care of boys and girls, mostly from city slums. So we begin with stating his present condition, and then we move on to what we say a few sentences about his past also, and how he had become a social worker. So all these things would make a perfect character sketch. So for all these things, you should know the story. So whatever, if it asks for a question, conversation or a write-up or character sketch, whatever it is, if you know the story very well, if you are thorough with the text, you could easily answer any discourse. So don't worry about that. Is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then within 5 minutes, I'll stop. Then one more the poem, the one and only poem in that unit is Ballad of Father Gilligan. It's W.V. written by W.V. Yeats. Then the summary, Peter Gilligan is an old priest. He was
Very tired.
he was a priest of the Scottish Highlands, the Irish Highlands. He was a priest. He was an old man, so he, there in that area, a serious,
Epidemic.
dangerous epidemic spread out. And being the priest, he has to treat them. Treat in the sense, was, he has to perform his priestly duties. That is, for the dying people, he has to go and give this last sacrament, the last നമ്മൾ പറയുന്ന എന്താ പറയാ
അന്ത്യകൂദാശ.
അന്ത്യകുർബാന അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അന്ത്യകൂദാശ കൊടുക്കാനായിട്ട് പോകണം. If people are dead, he has to bury them according to the rituals. So many people were either in their sick bed and many were dead. So he was tired and tired. And one evening when he came back to his uh, parsonage, the place where he resides, a priest resides, it's called a parsonage, Pallimeda. അവിടെ വന്നിങ്ങനെ ഇരിക്കുമ്പോൾ somebody comes over there and he was wanted because a man is going to die, so he has to go and give him the last sacrament. But there the priest complains to God. I have no rest, I have no peace, nor joy, always I am work and work. But suddenly he repents. He says that, God, my body spake not I. Physically I am weak, but mentally I am prepared to do anything for God. But while praying like this, he fell asleep. And on early morning, he got up. And then only he remembered about that dying man. So he rose his horse from out of its sleep and he rode as carelessly, very carelessly, isn't it, through the fen and the moor. And finally, he reached the dying man's house. There, his wife was surprised to see that Gilligan father had come again, because the previous night, God came. The priest came and gave him the last sacrament. And at this command, the priest was surprised and he began to sway to and fro. But then he realized that, God had sent one of his great angel instead of him to serve his duty. So that's how, and for that, he kneels there and prays to God. That is how the poem ends with. So it's a ballad poem. It's a story poem. It's given in 4 stanzas, quatrains. നമ്മുടെ വടക്കൻ പാട്ട് തെക്കൻ പാട്ട് പോലെയുള്ള കഥാകവിതകളാണ് ഈ ബാലഡ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. അത്രയൊരെണ്ണമാണ്. ഇറ്റ്സ് എൻ ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻറ്റ് പോയം in our lesson. Then the summaries I told you. Here also you can, a profile of William Butler can be asked. You have to write it. Then there is also the second question. That is question number in your question paper. Question number 7 to 10 will be comprehension poem. So you have got 5 poems.
Sir,
Yeah.
can you say, display the second part of the summary of the poem?
Second part of the summary.
Okay, thanks. Second part. Second part. 5 to, I have the 4 to. 4 to, 4 to.
One second. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, sir. Thanks, sir.
I have just, I think I have mentioned all the important points in the whole poem.
Okay.
I'll send this. You can get an idea about that. Okay. So, question number 7 to 10. 7, 8, 9, 10. 4 questions. Maybe sometimes 5. Will be from any of the poems you have read. That is, the first poem, Lines Written in Early Spring. Second poem, The Blowing in the Wind. Third poem, The Ballad of Father Gilligan. Fourth poem, Poetry. And fifth poem, Mother to Son. So a few lines from these poems will be asked, and will be asked 4 questions. Here also, one question will be from typical the poetic devices. One question, you two questions, you can directly pick the answers. Then one question also, again, you have to read between the lines. Look at these. We have no time to read the lines, but he who wrapped in purple robes with planet in his hair. Comment on these lines. Can anyone say?
Yes, sir.
Ah,
Here, God is presented as a parish priest, and
yeah.
uh, whose parish is the whole universe.
Parish is a whole universe. And he cares for the people who are in
Trouble.
trouble. And it is God who care this planet. Yes, good, good. What did he do for Father Gilligan? Look at that question. What did he? So
The God
whenever
sent
God said, very good. Yeah,
one of his angels down to help Father Gilligan when he was in need.
yeah, very good, very good. Yeah. Which line gives us the idea that normally what children do, no? When a question from this poem is asked, they just quote the lines from planet with his grace. Oh, okay. They'll just quote the line where that phrase comes. Actually, these questions are not meant for that. You are to read the poem, you have to comprehend it, and write the answers. നിങ്ങളൊരു കവിത വായിച്ചത് മനസ്സിലാക്കുന്നുണ്ടോ എന്നുള്ള പരിശോധനയാണ് ഈ ചോദ്യഭാഗത്തിലൂടെ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്. പക്ഷെ പലപ്പോഴും കുട്ടികൾ വെറുതെ ആ ലൈൻസ് കോപ്പി ചെയ്യും. നോ, that's not what is required. Okay, okay. Which lines gives us the idea that God had made the night for the troubled humanity?
He who
Ah,
hath made the nights of stars
ah,
for those who tire and bleed.
yes. So, if such questions are, pick out the lines, means then you can directly quote the lines. The last one, the last one, pick out the two sets of rhyming words.
Bleed, need, care, chair.
Yes. Then, um, any visual image?
Night of stars.
Night of stars.
Yes. Purple robes, right? You have an idea about imageries, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. There are 5 types of imageries. What are they?
Auditory image,
Ah,
visual image,
visual,
olfactory image,
olfactory,
tactile image,
tactile. One more, gustatory. What is that?
gustatory image.
Gustatory. Yeah. So we have 5 senses. So 5 images: eyes, no eyes, ears, nose, skin, mouth, or tongue. അത് ഓർത്താൽ മതി. നമുക്ക് 5 ഇന്ദ്രിയങ്ങൾ, 5 imageries. Visual image appeals to your sight. Auditory image appeals to your hearing. Tactile appeals to your touch, skin, or then gustatory appeals to your taste, tongue, and olfactory appeals to your nose. Right?
Yes, sir.
Then okay, another question is that can possibly be asked from this part is an appreciation. That's a sure question, not from this lesson. Appreciation is there. Question number 11 is, you'll be given again a few lines from another poem, and there you will be asked to write an appreciation of the given lines, not the whole poem. So for writing the appreciation, how will you write the appreciation? What will you write first? An appreciation is actually a critical evaluation of a poem, and the appreciation of a book. It may not be a poem alone, it can be of any book. But here in the question paper, 11th question is appreciation. So the question is like this: read the following lines given below and write an appreciation focusing the theme, imagery, and poetic devices. This is the question. Suppose a few lines from this poem is given and you were asked to write an appreciation. How will you do it? Or how will you tackle this? Testing. How will you write an appreciation? First of all, you have to write about the poet and the theme of the poem. 2 sentences, that's enough. Next is
About the poem.
That is theme of the poem, about the poem. The third
Summary of
thing,
the poem.
summary, or what it is called paraphrasing. Paraphrasing meaning അർത്ഥവർണ്ണന എന്ന് പറയുന്ന മലയാളത്തിൽ പറയുന്നത്. നമുക്ക് തന്നിരിക്കുന്ന വരികൾ, the given lines, just give the meaning, literal meaning of the given lines. That's enough. Then you have to say something about the imageries used there. Pick out examples for the imageries given there. Then about the musical quality of the poem. Musical quality in the sense rhyme scheme, rhyming words, alliteration, assonance. These are the features which adds to the musical quality of the poem. കവിതയുടെ സംഗീതാത്മകതയ്ക്ക് പങ്കുവഹിക്കുന്ന നാല് കാര്യങ്ങളാണ്. ഒന്ന് റൈം സ്കീം, റൈമിംഗ് വേർഡ്സ്, അലിറ്ററേഷൻ, അസൊനൻസ്. ഈ കാര്യങ്ങളാണ്. ഇത് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ, ഇഫ് ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് ദെയർ, ഇതെല്ലാം എല്ലാ വരികളിലും കാണണം എന്നില്ല. ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ മാത്രം യു ജസ്റ്റ് മെൻഷൻ, പിക്ക് ഔട്ട് ദ ലൈൻ. ദെൻ about the poetic devices. Poetic devices are those techniques which the poet uses to adorn their poetry, decorate their poetry. കവിതയെ മോടി പിടിപ്പിക്കുവാൻ, അലങ്കരിക്കുവാൻ കവികൾ ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്ന സങ്കേതങ്ങളെയാണ് poetic devices, അഥവാ മലയാളത്തിൽ നമ്മൾ അലങ്കാരങ്ങൾ എന്ന് പറയും, അലങ്കാര പ്രയോഗങ്ങൾ. ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ സിമിലി, മെറ്റഫർ, പെർസോണിഫിക്കേഷൻ, ഹൈപ്പർബലി, ഇതെല്ലാം ഉണ്ട്. ഇതിന് ഏതെങ്കിലും ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ മാത്രം യു ജസ്റ്റ് മെൻഷൻ what is the figure of speech used here and in which line. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Are you confused or clear?
Clear, sir.
Clear.
Okay, good. I fear, whether I have confused you much. Illalo?
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
Okay, good. If you have any doubts, you can ask. Otherwise, we'll, the same thing about the next lesson. That is what then you let me see. So once again, about you write about the poet, what the theme of the poem, paraphrasing of the lines, then imageries, then what poetic devices, then message of the poem, what message does the poem conveys, and finally make a personal comment about your opinion, make a personal comment about the poem. നിങ്ങളുടെ വ്യക്തിപരമായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു അഭിപ്രായമുണ്ട്, ഈ കവിത എനിക്ക് ഇഷ്ടമാണ് ഇന്ന കാരണത്താൽ. അതുകൊണ്ട് എഴുതി കഴിയുമ്പോൾ ഇറ്റ്സ് ഓവർ. ആൻഡ് ദ മാർക്ക് യു ഗെറ്റ് ഈസ് 5 സ്കോർ ആണ് ഇന്ന് കിട്ടുന്നത്. ഡോണ്ട് മിസ് ഇറ്റ്, അത് മിസ്സാക്കല്ല്. ദെൻ വൺ മോർ തിങ്, take 10 to 12 minutes for completing this. One page is enough and more. Normally children just elaborate it. Don't elaborate. Just write the appreciation of only the given lines. Don't go beyond that. You just mention. Now there are, if you take a poem, there may be many examples for alliteration, assonance, poetic devices and all. In the given lines, if there is only simile, you just mention about the simile. If there is only alliteration, then you just mention the alliteration. And also about paraphrasing of the lines, paraphrasing, the summary of the given lines, the literal meaning of the given lines. Just only give them literally the summary or the paraphrasing of only the given lines. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Then the third lesson, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, The Danger of a Single Story. Play. ഏകതല സ്പർശിയായ വസ്തുത എന്നാണ് അതിൻ്റെ അർത്ഥം. ഏകതല സ്പർശി, അതാണ് ഡേഞ്ചർ ഓഫ് എ സിംഗിൾ സ്റ്റോറി എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് എ ഡേഞ്ചറസ് തിങ്. ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് വാട്ട് ഷീ വാണ്ടഡ് ടു put forward. That is what she is trying to convey through that speech. ആ സ്പീച്ചിലൂടെ അവർ അതാണ് കൺവേ ചെയ്യാൻ ശ്രമിക്കുന്നത്. അല്ല, മുൻവിധികൾ പാടില്ല. കാരണം മുൻവിധികൾ, it creates stereotypes. So a coin has got both sides, and it becomes valuable only when you see both the sides. ഒരു വശം കൊണ്ട് മാത്രം you cannot judge a person. ഫിദയുടെ എക്സാമ്പിൾ അവിടെ പറയുന്നുണ്ട്, isn't it?
Yes,
So
sir.
the single story
Yes, sir.
Adichie had about Fide was that they were poor, very poor. So Her mother used to send them yams, used clothes, things like that. But one Saturday when they visited there, Adichie realized that her story about Fide was a single one, a single-sided one. Why? It's two. How? Because
They
they are
They
have
are
rich.
very skillful.
Yeah,
They are very skillful in
yeah,
arts.
very very skillful in art. അപ്പോൾ റിച്ച് ആയിട്ടുള്ള അടിച്ചിക്ക് ആ കഴിവില്ല, പക്ഷെ പുവർ ആയിട്ടുള്ള അവർക്ക് ആ കഴിവുണ്ട്. അപ്പോഴാണ് അടിച്ച് മനസ്സിലാക്കുന്നത് that single story. So see how, when you make a speech, you introduce the topic and then you elaborate the topic through examples. So here the topic is danger of a single story. See how uh, coherently she organizes it. First she says an example of her her housemate, Mr. Fide, houseboy Fide. Then she says the example of her roommate, isn't it? Then her professor's single story about Africa and all. So she's elaborating. And finally, we get an idea about what single story is. And she concludes what is the impact of having a single story. Single story creates stereotypes. There also passages can be asked. The profile of Team Amanda may be asked. Then there is no scope for notice there. Then another thing is review. Review of the speech can be asked. Conversation can be asked. These are the possible discourses that could be asked from that particular lessons. So the others we have already discussed. Then about this thing, the review. Review also is, it's different from a write up. Review is actually you are reviewing it. That means you are critically analyzing a piece of writing. അതാണ് റിവ്യൂ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. അതിന് ഒരു ടൈറ്റിൽ ഉണ്ടാവണം. Then you have to organize the ideas. Uh, you have to mention the main events and conclude it with a personal comment. ഇതെല്ലാം ഒരു ഫീച്ചേഴ്സ് ഒരുപോലെ തന്നെ ഇരിക്കും. I'll send some materials to your teacher, and I hope that she will uh, share it with you. Anyway, for the time being, we are going to wind up. Mm, Um, uh, Once again, I congratulate and I wish you all the best. Don't worry, don't be tensed about the exams. You just keep on studying. Uh, you will win. You can fly because you have wings. You are very imaginative, nice children. So you can certainly get good scores for your examination. Being one among your teacher, I wish you all the best. If you have any queries, of course, I'm ready to come onto this platform once more and just explain. So thank you for your patience listening and for your uh, good responses. Thank you, ma'am, Sunida ma'am, and um,
Thank
okay,
you,
thank
sir.
you, ma'am.
Thank you very much for taking your valuable time with us. Children,
Yeah.
can any of you give feedback to him? Please don't waste time. This time ahead. Come forward. Anyone? No?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank
It
you.
was
Okay,
it
carry
was
on.
totally nice job. We could learn more about the summary of the lessons and grammar portions. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Deepthi SJ. Because that is your profile name. Right? That's why I told.
Okay, thank you, sir, and have detailed all the
Okay.
lessons. Thank you. Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you all. Good night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you are all welcome. All the best.